Thank you very much, and thanks, Carto, and everybody from the conference that invited me. So yeah, so today we're going to talk about TomTom. I'm going to give you a brief introduction, but the main topic is TomTom as a data provider. So if I'm not wrong, the title is using TomTom traffic analytics into mobility platforms in order to improve urban mobility. So this is what we are going to talk today. Let me quickly show you the agenda. A quick intro, because I know that this is being broadcasted all around the world. Maybe in Europe, TomTom is widely known, but some other places not so well known. So I'll do a quick company intro, and then we go deep into the data itself. I'll show you some examples, and I would like to wrap up with a new product that we have, which is even another way to get more TomTom data, more access to the TomTom data. So let's go. Let's get to it. So, sorry, you might remember TomTom back in the days from the GPS devices in the car, but that was a long time ago. Nowadays, with mobile smartphones, it's completely different user experience. But TomTom is still there. We're a 30-year-old company, and not in a 100% B2B, 100% location technology company. And we are active in these three areas, let's say, in these three industry segments. We have a lot of automotive customers. Uh, Almost all brands work with us in Europe, North America, APAC. Apart from the automotive, that it's a very, very well consolidated business, we also have our enterprise segment. And then in the enterprise B2B segments, we're talking about fleet and logistic companies, on-demand companies like ride-hailing, like the Ubers of this world, food delivery, and many, many other. And we still have a small consumer division, of course, and this is getting less and less. So main focus today is automotive and enterprise business. And you might think, yeah, but what type of products TomTom is delivering to this markets? And here, of course, very in a high level information. You can visit us at tomtom.com. But basically, what we're doing is we're still a map making company. That's our DNA. That's what we've been doing for 30 years. And then we deliver these maps, of course, in different formats, different styles, different data sets. Apart from the mapping product, we also have navigation software for automotive, but also for enterprise mobile apps with navigation and so on. So we have this whole navigation intelligence. Something that is really, really important for TomTom, top quality in the market, is our traffic and travel information, and that connects already with what we're talking today. That's where the main data comes from. And the last one, which is something more visionary, more for the future, but already seeing some traction, is our automated driving unit, which focus on highly detailed maps for autonomous driving. So that's in a nutshell what we are doing today as a company. And the main mission of TomTom is really, really to develop innovative location technologies, and that's what we've been doing. That's why I want to show you a little bit today. So now that you know a little bit of what the company and what we're doing, let's go into the topic of today, which is really, really data, location data. That's what we call it internally. We're talking about GPS data, FCD data, but nowadays it's much broader, and we call it location data. Mainly, if I have to categorize the three types of data that you can get from TomTom, I would say that this is the best way. So we have the map data, and then here you're going to get, like I said before, different formats, different data sets for different use cases, but you get real map data, map features. Apart from the map data, going to the column in the middle is traffic data. So you might not know, but TomTom is tracking We, via our customers and partners, we track cars on the road, fleets, enterprise fleets on the road as well, mobile devices, and we gather all this location data, which is really, really massive amount of data, and we start creating products, and you also can have access to this data. And the last category, which is more for developers, software engineers, where we have our developer.tomtom.com, our developer portal, and you can go and use everything that we talked, the map data, the traffic data, but you can use it in a very, very straightforward, simple way via Maps APIs and SDKs. But focusing on the middle part, on the traffic data, this is where it all comes together, because like I said before, we've been tracking today we're happy to say that we track more than 600 million connected devices. And these devices can be a connected car on the road, a connected truck, or your mobile device. And just to give an amount of how massive this is 600 million connected devices. So it's a lot of data. Every device delivering to you GPS data every 5 seconds, every 2 seconds, every 10 seconds. So you can imagine how big is it. Today, we have this data and the products that this data enables in 80 countries around the world. So it's a very good global coverage. And like I said before, just to illustrate, 742 million kilometers driven every day if you put all this data together. So we're talking a very, very, very powerful data that you can draw conclusions and have insights on different use cases. Just to show you a little bit what we not the basic, but the most straightforward is you get all this data and you create what we call the TomTom real-time traffic. The real-time traffic is very important when it comes to navigation. So when you're coming from point A to point B, you need to know how the current traffic situation is on your route, so you can avoid that traffic, or maybe actually spread that traffic so you don't create more. So we have the basic icons on the road, the traffic events like marathons, roadworks, road closures. We also have the traffic flow, which are the colors, the basic colors, the so known green, yellow, red colors on the road, that you can see what are the live traffic speeds, what is the live travel time. So your navigation algorithm gets better and better all the time with more data. The more data you get, the better get the algorithm, and then you have this flywheel. But here, connecting to Carto and connecting with the conference itself, there's other ways that you can access this data. And this is how we call it at TomTom traffic analytics. So the same data that we use to create real-time traffic, the flow traffic, the colors on the road, the traffic events, we've been archiving the same data since 2007, which was the first year that TomTom launched a traffic country, a TomTom traffic in a country. So since 2007, we've been archiving this data, and we've been sitting on this data that only gets bigger and bigger. So we have a set of tools, a set of products called TomTom Traffic Analytics, where you can have insights by analyzing this archive data. So we have a mix of historical products with real-time products, but the idea is you can use that data to draw insights to improve urban mobility, or on a state level or on a national level. And this is what I want to show you a little bit. So this is the family today. We have from left to right traffic stats, OD analysis, route monitoring, road event reporter, and junction analytics, which is the new guy that I want to talk today. Let me go one by one. I have one slide per product quickly. So the first one is traffic stats. Traffic stats is a historical product. You can go back in time, and it's all about speeds. You go back in time, and for that specific time in the past, you know what were the average speeds, what were the average travel times, what were the number of GPS probe counts, GPS counts per segment, all very detailed and very powerful. So with this, you can do before and after analysis, urban planning. You can make studies on where to increase highway capacity, for example, identify bottlenecks, and a lot of other options with this historical traffic. Uh, just by the way, I put in all the slides, I have I have the QR code because these products that we're talking about, you can start testing right away. So use your phone, read the QR code. It's a simple registration form, and you can start using right away. So this is the first one, traffic stats. Invite you to test, try to use it. The second one is the TomTom OD analysis. So this is the typical origin destination analysis. So traffic stats was all about speeds. This one is all about trips. So also a historical product. You go back in time, you define your time in the past, and then you understand the origins and the destinations of all the trips for that specific period. Not only the origins and the destinations, but also where the trips went through, the via between all the origins and all the destinations. Also a historical product, also available for testing via the QR code. On to the next one. The next one is a real-time product, is a real-time traffic. So we are providing real-time analytics, real-time analysis. And this is a very, very simple but very powerful product where you define a route and you do exactly what the name says. It's a route monitoring. So you define an important route in your city. So let's say from the train station to the airport, which is a very, very busy route. You define these routes and you keep monitoring 24/7 nonstop for the whole route length, but also for every single segment of the route. And with this live monitoring, you can broadcast this information to the VMS signs, to the variable message signing, the digital boards on the highway. Excuse me. So, for example, if you have two options to go to the airport and you are currently monitoring these two options, you can simply broadcast this information to all the drivers on the road and saying, hey, right now, at this moment, people going to the airport, please take exit A instead of exit B because the travel time is X compared to Y, for example. So it's the first step. It's not only about monitoring, but it's the first step of also the road authority influencing traffic and telling, giving suggestions on where to go. Next one in the line, it's a community. It's a community product. Remember, this is all part of the TomTom Traffic Analytics family, which is the most straightforward way to get access to the TomTom data. This is a community product. So it's not really, now it's a little bit different because it's not from TomTom to the user, but the other way around. So we have a lot of customers, partners, end users that can use Road Event Reporter to input, to input different types of traffic events. So for example, if there's a marathon, if I'm in Berlin and there's a Berlin marathon, our partner cities that we have deals with way beforehand, like months in advance, they input this marathon event, the roads that will be blocked from time to time. So this is good for TomTom from a navigation perspective, but it's also good for the city who has everything organized in a single dashboard. It's good for the end user who is benefiting from this from navigation. So it's a very cool way to have input from the community into the TomTom to the TomTom engine. And the last one, which is Junction Analytics, which is the new guy we just launched a month ago in September. But before moving to this one, I want to make it very, very clear that everything that we're talking here you have in two delivery methods. You can use it on the web, and this is our my right hand side. So go to move.tomtom.com and you can use everything that we just talked on the web, so you can have access to this data and to the analysis and to the insights on the web. Or you can have everything via an API, which, for example, enables you, if you're already a Carto user, if you're using the Carto platform, for example, you can keep using that experience. Just plug in the APIs and you can have everything in the same platform. Um, cool. Before I go into the last product, I just want to show you some examples because we're proud of. We're working with multiple cities around the world, but I just want to give quick examples. For example, the city of Turin has been using traffic stats, our historical product about the speeds, and they are using traffic stats to understand the speeds, to understand what is the behavior of the drivers in the city before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and they are still doing after the pandemic to see what they can improve. So it's a really cool use case to using historical data, using TomTom data to actually plan better and optimize better the future. Another city that we recently started working with is the city of Brussels in Belgium, and they are using both. They are using traffic stats and OD, and it's very, very similar use case. So they are trying to get historical traffic insights on both speeds, travel time, and also origin destination to also understand how the pandemic affected the city and how the city is moving past this moment and also trying to prepare for what's coming. The last example, and then I'm about to wrap up, uh, and is the city is the province of Friesland in the Netherlands, and also they are being using traffic stats and OD. And what they are trying to do is understanding the volume capacity of the city. So what would be a threshold for the number of cars on the road? Guys, to finalize, I know I think I passed a little bit on the time, but to finalize is the new guys, the new product called Junction Analytics. This one is easy. It's very niche, very specific. It's about intersection optimization. It's about traffic light optimization, 100% based on location data, no need for hardware or infrastructure data. You can start only with GPS data. Of course, if your city already has a lot of infrastructure data, even better because they both work very, very good together. And just I just put some screenshots so you can see how it looks like. So you define the intersection either via the API or on the web. You put the latitude, longitude, you define the intersection, and then in real time we start monitoring this intersection and we give you, for example, what is the delay to cross the intersection compared to the usual delay, how long is the queue, the traffic jam, the traffic queue at the moment compared to what's usual for that same moment. And also we give the product is evolving and creating, we have more and more features. Now you can see not only real time, but you also can see 24 hours, 3 days, 8 days in the past. So you can optimize intersections in an urban environment, traffic lights in a very, very cheap way, in a very scalable way, because with the click of a button, you simply can cover basically all the intersections in your city. So just to summarize, Junction Analytics is for traffic light optimization, 100% GPS data. You can use it as standalone or combined with infrastructure data. And again, gives you a much bigger horizon, a much bigger scalability. And with that, Olivia, I finish here. I'll leave my email here, guys, if you want to ask. I'm not sure if we have time for questions. But yeah, thank you. That was TomTom as a data provider.
Thank you, Jonathan. I know
Thanks for having
mobility and
me.
traffic data has been of increased interest over the past year and a half to see how people are moving and fleeing urban areas potentially.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions, so please check out the Q&A. Damien
Yes.
also pointed them to the
Good.
booth, so please feel free to connect there. But one quick question that seems to be of interest for a lot of folks is how does TomTom collect mobile device data? Is it through any partnerships with Vodafone, cell phone providers, or things like that?
Cool. Awesome question. So the nowadays, I would say that most of the data that TomTom has come from automotive and mobile. Automotive, they are all our customers, and when we sign a deal, it's part of the deal that we get back the GPS data, the location data. And the same thing happens with mobile devices. So a lot of people they don't know, but we are the location technology embedded in many customers. So like Uber is a big customer, Microsoft is a big customer, Apple is a customer. So all these mobile operators and mobile devices, they are currently also because of our partnership, our customer relationship, we also get the data. So in a very short answer, basically that's where it comes from.
Awesome. Thank you again, Jonathan. It seems like there are a lot of folks interested in connecting and collaborating on some